Hey, what's going on, everybody? What is happening out there in the RPG community? Welcome in, everybody. This is I needed to do. I felt I needed to be responsible enough that if we're going to have a channel named Flint Fireforge, that we need to give respect to Dragonlance, which is this year is the 40th anniversary of Dragons of Despair by Tracy Hickman. And so tonight I'm just going to be sharing, just doing a little flip through, sharing some thoughts, sharing some ideas, drinking a little coffee maybe. And hopefully you'll join me. If you're a Dragonlance fan, my hope is that you'll chime in, you'll share a little bit, talk a little bit about your experience with Dragonlance. And for me, my experience with Dragonlance, to be honest with you, is limited to the books, actually. It actually is. I never got to play Dragonlance as far as the adventures go because my DM did mostly all homebrew stuff. He came up with his own stuff, which is perfectly fine. I think that's, homebrew is a what do I want to say is a great way to explore. It's a great way to just make up stuff that's not in the rule books, right? It's just a super fun way, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing in that sandbox. I enjoyed showing up and not having any idea what was really going to happen. And not that I would know anyway, even if he was playing, a module or an adventure or something. But and I'm going to be doing some more. Just talk about sandboxes. I'm going to be doing some more sandboxy videos, maybe, to talk a little bit about how I would use them and how I've used them in the past. And hopefully that will be of value to you guys. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you think. And would you like some sandboxy information? And then have a few other things coming up. I got some giveaways coming up. The fine folks over at over at Tropics Media Lab has sent me some giveaways. They have sent me the villains, minions, and their tactics. They have also sent me proactive role-playing. And so I have a giveaway. I'm going to do 2 separate giveaways, and I have videos coming up for each of those that emphasizes villains and emphasizes proactive role-playing. And so be sure to, if you're not a subscriber yet, be sure to go and click that subscribe button and hit the bell notification. That way, when you'll know I'll go live, and I'll be able to, you'll be able to join me for live sessions. But then you'll just be able to catch videos. You'll be notified when I post them. And so let's see, what else? Anything else coming up that I need to let you know about? No, I think that's about it. Other than the fact that I will say this, I am 300 hours away from being monetized on my channel. And so if you would care, if you're already a subscriber, could you watch a few extra videos, share a few extra videos, so I can get that number where it needs to be, so then I can be monetized, and then I can do memberships. I would love to do memberships. My plan going forward is hopefully that if you join in the memberships, that hopefully I'll host a monthly session, a monthly one-shot that you can get involved in, and it won't cost you anything. And the reason I say it doesn't cost you anything is because normally I'm a professional DM, and so I charge for games that I play, that I run. And but I don't want to do that for you guys that are part of the channel. If you're a subscriber and you're going to be a supporter, well, then I want to make some room for you at the table so that you can join in, and it would be super, for a monthly fee, what it is comparable to that you would pay a professional DM. If you go look on Start Playing or other places, you can see some of the prices there. What I would charge for a monthly here on the channel wouldn't be very high at all. So in comparison, all right. So yeah, that's it. If you, like I said, if you would watch a few more hours of videos, I'm like I said, about 300 videos shy of being monetized. That would be great. All right. So, and once again, Flint Fireforge. Let me explain. We'll get into. I'm going to start the flip through here in just a second. I'm kind of waiting for some folks to come in. The reason the channel is named Flint Fireforge is because, first of all, Flint Fireforge was my favorite character in the novels, and I don't know why I gravitated towards him. And but well, maybe I do. I think his relationship with Tasselhoff was key. That interaction was really super fun for me, and so his gruffness, his kind of his demeanor was super fun for me to read, and his him being frustrated by Mr. Tasselhoff there, was just a fun read, and it was just enjoyable. And so I said, so when I talked about, when I thought about naming the channel, I said, well, why don't I name it Flint Fireforge? That way, when I drop into chats, because I like to show up for live streams, and when I jump into the chat, the people who are familiar with, especially old school gamers, will see Flint Fireforge pop in, and they'll see a friendly name. They'll go, well, I know that. They'll have that Leonardo DiCaprio moment where they go, I know that. I see that, right? And so, it's kind of a friendly thing. To be able to, just be able to drop in. And it's a nod to, to the novels and to how important those novels were to me, which eventually grew into more of a love and appreciation for Dungeons and Dragons, even though I had never played the actual modules by Tracy Hickman. But I would like to know from you, who are your favorite characters in the books? Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite? And I'm talking about the original three. Okay, I'm talking about autumn, spring, right? I'm talking about winter. I'm talking about the first three novels that came out. Who is your favorite Dragonlance character? Okay, so leave that down. If you're watching this later, leave it in the comments, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into and just start walking through. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing some other Dragonlance material and things of that nature, so hang around. And like I said, I'm just going to do a little flip through, share some commentary, and you guys are welcome to ask questions. I'll be honest with you, I am no Dragonlance expert, right? You would think with a name like Flint Fireforge that I should know everything, and I'll probably know about half as much as you do, only because I didn't play it, and I only know what I've read and things that I've enjoyed over the years. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump down to Dragonlance here, and we'll kind of move all this over as we kind of do the flip through. And you can see this is all kind of tore up here. This is not my original. I bought this. I think I bought this on eBay. So it's definitely a used copy. I like that though. I don't like brand new modules. I like modules that have been tore up, stuff's written in them, stickers are on them. I don't know. I know they're not great for resale, but I don't care. I just like the fact that I like things that have been well loved and well used. So, all right, so here we go. DL1, 9130. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Dragons of Despair, Tracy Hickman. As we open up here, you can see we have the cavern map there where you descend. Move that out of the way. You can kind of see the whole picture there. And and the things that I know about this module is it's not a traditional module. It's not your typical, at that time, definitely not your typical module. And I'll share that in a little while, some thoughts on that. But you got to love the maps. You got to love the blue maps. You got to love it, right? All right, so we come over here and we see, got to give some love here. Original concept, Tracy Hickman. Editors, Michael Williams. Design staff is Tracy Hickman's, Harold Johnson, Douglas Niles, Carl Smith, Michael Williams. Product design, Bruce Lewis, Elizabeth Rydell. Cover art, Clyde Caldwell. Interior art, Jeff Easley. Lots of familiar names there. The cartographer is Diesel. Canticle by Tracy Hickman and Michael Williams. Song by Tracy Hickman, Carl Smith, and Michael Williams. Special thanks to Larry Elmore, Jeff Grubb, Gally Sanchez, Gary Spiegel, and Dave Sutherland. So you got to give some love. You got to give love to the whole group here on the 40th anniversary of Dragonlance. Okay? All right, so as we go through, the way this is designed, it gives you the opening here. Also, great art. I mean, you just stare at it for hours. Gets into the tale. What is this about, right? And what you have here is it goes through, it kind of breaks it down. And the 3 reasons this is a different kind of module than others. It happens on a world called Krynn. And the rules are different there. And that's what I appreciate about Dragonlance. For those who said, well, this is not, it doesn't take place in Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms or whatever it may be, the fact is that I appreciate originality. I appreciate somebody saying, hey, this is how it works in my world. This is how it works at my table. This is how it works in this sandbox, right? In this homebrew. And I think that, I think we've gotten away from that to some degree. I think we expect certain things to be the way they are forever and ever. And I think that, at your table, you probably have some rules. You probably have some rules at your table, right? Maybe it's no dark vision. Maybe your rule is, a very limited magic. So I don't see any much difference between, Tracy here, who has made this to say, look, I'm going to make it the way I want to make it. And so I appreciate it for that fact. So number 1, gold has no value in this world. Here's the 3 reasons why it's a different kind of world. Gold has no value in this world. Each place has its own currency and its own values for trade. These are explained in Appendix 1. What one country values may be worthless in another. Okay? And I think that's good. I think that's not a bad rule because, you go to other countries, you have to do some sort of exchange because, the values aren't there, right? Number 2, clerical spells have not existed for nearly 300 years. Some people still call themselves clerics, still belong to worshipful orders. However, all of these have turned their backs on the true gods in search of other, less demanding gods, which do not exist. These pseudo-clerics use the same combat table as true clerics, but have no spell abilities. PC clerics brought into Krynn from other campaigns lose their spellcasting abilities at once. Never fear, it is the goal of this adventure to regain these abilities. And then number 3. Number 3 is no dragons have existed in Krynn for over 1,000 years. As a result, most people in this world smile when dragons are mentioned, believing they are only folk tales to frighten children. Few believe that dragons ever did exist. Almost nobody believes that they exist now. Now, it gets into character. I'll kind of skip this here. It says all the PC elves are Qualinesti elves. In this world, other kinds of elves exist, but they come into Dragonlance story in later modules. The equivalent of a halfling in this world is called a kender. Kender look like wizened 14-year-olds, and unlike halflings, they wear shoes. These folks have 2 special abilities in addition to the usual halfling abilities. The 2 abilities are taunt. Any creature the kender taunts must save versus spells or attack wildly at once for 1 to 10 rounds, and a -2 penalty to hit, and +2 penalty to their armor class. Kender are masters at enraging others by verbal abuse. Clearly, that is true by how much he aggravated Flint. Fearlessness. Kender are immune to fear, either magical or non-magical. They are, however, curious about everything, a tendency that often gets them into trouble. So that sets up the adventure. Now, the other thing that what this does is that you are expected to play the characters that are given. In other words, you're expected to play the characters from the novels. And, for whatever reason, that's fine. But that's also why it's considered somewhat railroady, because you're playing the book, you're playing, the adventure, and that's fine. and I don't think it's a problem to play the characters. I just think there's room for, well, how is this going to go down? How is this adventure going to go down? And it can go down in different ways, not necessarily different in the sense of the journey can be different, because this is all about finding the crystal staff and defeating the black dragon. So as we kind of skip through here, we have these events. So there are I think there's seven events. So there are 7 events, and the 7 events, happen in some sort of order. I would say that that's okay to say, listen, that these events will happen, because if you look at, let me go to the map real quick, okay, to show you the map. Excuse me, let me move some of these wires out of the way. We're getting all tangled up here. So the map here is right here, and you have all these locations. So in the sense of this is why, are we going to visit all these? If you give the player, if you say it's going to be a true, sandboxy place, well, then they can go wherever they want, and you're just going to put the events that are happening, and you're going to put them in various places, and say, okay, well, that's going to happen here, that's going to happen here. The events are pretty much, the events that happen in order of the book, I believe. And so in doing this, you can do it this way, but and for me, if I run it, and I'll be honest with you, I do want to run it. Okay, I do want to run this because just for fun, I think the adventure is good enough just to run it as a homebrew and as a way to teach new players, how to play. And so, just as a quick fun, go down into a dungeon and go fight a dragon, and go find the staff, and all that. And in this, some of the events that you have that are, it starts off, the adventure begins, and then you have Gold Moon Found. And what I would do with this, I would say that, and I don't think I'm spoiling anything about how I would run the adventure, but I think I think something has happened to Gold Moon and Riverwind. And because they have not shown up, they've made a date to gather back together and talk about the 5 years that they have been searching, for signs of the gods and the crystal, and all that. They're on their search, right? And in the midst of it, Gold Moon finds the staff and so forth. Well, the word gets out. There's the Draconians are on the march. There's all kinds of things happening, and something happens to Gold Moon. This is my, like I said, this is kind of my take on doing this. Is that they would have to? Rumor would have it that something has happened to Gold Moon, or I would say that that this event here, I mean, that would be the opening event, but then that event happening in Solace would be immediate. In other words, that the Draconians would find Gold Moon there, and there'd be a huge fight at the inn of Last Home. I think that's where I would start it, so that Gold Moon could, share what is happening, why they want this, why this is important, and then go directly to kill the dragon with it, right? And that's pretty straight. That's a pretty straight line. Otherwise, you can spend a lot of time just kind of, meandering around, which is fine. If that's the game you want to play, that's fine. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, for me, I need to make it a little bit more linear, okay? And then use the events and move the events around as I want, so that I can get players and their characters from point A to point B in a way that's going to make sense. Okay. So as we move along, you have, like I said, all these different, then you have, not only you have the 7 events, but then from here on you have 44 encounters, and those encounters are all over the map. So there's all kinds of things you can put in there. You can take these events and if you want to make it a thing where they have to go to get certain information, which they will. Gold Moon doesn't know what to do with the staff necessarily. They need to maybe find out more information about it. So in doing so, they'll have to go, and travel. they'll have to do a couple of things. And of course, there'll be some quests along the way for them to maybe do. So something like this, it can last, as long as you want. But I would say probably maybe 2 to 3 sessions, depending. I mean, if you wanted to start it, tell them the background and say, look, you're right there in the ancient city, and you can go, start, make that the encounter, make that where you're just there and not worry about anything else. You can do that. Or if you want to go around and say, hey, we're going to go, let these guys explore. And then you put the rumors out, right? You put the rumors on the map and say, hey, you've heard something about, somebody knows something about the staff over here. Somebody has something over here. Somebody says, will you do me a favor and go over here and get this? So there's lots of ways to use the map, and there's lots of ways of getting the most out of the map and getting the most out of the adventure. So we'll just keep flipping through here. You have, like I said, I like all the pencil marks. This just shows me somebody loved this thing. Somebody loved this adventure so much that they marked it up. Then you have, like, just say 39. It says, read the following when the heroes enter the area. In the distance, an ancient bridge spans the torrents of the White Rage River. Several dark shapes crouch on the north side of the bridge. Many others on its south side. So here we have an encounter, right? So we have an encounter here where on the old bridge. So what's going to happen here? Well, this could be something they have to cross to get to the city, right? So there's going to be an encounter here over at on their way to Zaxarath, and so they got to cross the old bridge. They've got to go through the Dragonlance. They've got to, all kinds of things, moving things around, shifting things around. And the fact too is that, if I'm playing this with a bunch of you guys who know Dragonlance lore and those kind of things, that's going to be something different. No generation under me, unless they are just totally into it, is going to know anything about this adventure. I will tell them about it afterwards, post. I'm not going to spend a lot of time saying, breaking down Dragonlance lore and talk about the world of Krynn, and we're going to play an adventure. Your adventure is this. You, as a 4th level, whatever you are, 4th, 5th level, whatever you are going to go. You've got to find the blue crystal staff. You've got to figure out what to do with it, and then you got to go kill a dragon. There you go. Straight line. Okay? And then you get to the Lost City. So eventually you find out, at least I would tell my players, you tell me in the comments how you would do it with yours. But obviously they would hear about the Lost City of the Ancients, and then they would go in there, and they'd eventually find the well from which the dragon makes its first appearance, tries to kill everybody. I think it makes three passes, I want to say. Yeah, I think it makes 3 passes, and then it flies back down into the well, back into its lair. And so I think it's, that's it. It's basically a tease that says, he's basically saying, come and get me, right? Come and get me. If I can't kill you on the first round, you're going to have to come down to my world. And then they got to go down in there. And of course, they're figuring out the lore as they go. I don't have to do a big lore dump at the beginning. The lore will speak for itself. It will share about the world. And now, unfortunately, the nice people who sold me this, they must have tore out the character cards, which it's okay because I have the PDF and I may go ahead and show that to you here in just a minute. But here's the Song of Goldmoon. I have no idea what this sounds like. I'm sure I have listened to it at some point on YouTube. I think I've probably looked this up. I'd be interested, have you ever used this? Maybe you've played it for the people of your group. Maybe you played it on a YouTube video, those things. I think stuff like that's unique. I think it's fun. I think it adds a ton of value to the game. And it's something I would do. If I was musically inclined, I'd play it maybe. I don't know if I'd sing it, but I might be able to play it, or I'd record it. So yeah, if you, if you've ever heard any of my other, recordings, I do like to do voiceover type things. So just recently I did kind of a Vecna thing where I did like 15 lines that, Vecna or some big bad would say, and I'll put a link up there on the thing there, right up in the corner there, if you want to listen to that. And so I just think stuff like that's fun. I don't know if this is. I can't remember. You correct me in the comments as to whether or not this is the first time a song has appeared as with notes and everything, the music, the sheet music, and all that. I don't remember previously. Forgive me. So yeah, some of you I know I see you're joining in. Tell me if you're a Dragonlance fan. Tell me who your character is in the chat of the core characters. And then the descent. So here we go. Descent into darkness. They go down into the well. And for those that are joining, we are celebrating Dragonlance, the 40th anniversary of Despair of Dragons. Dragons of Despair, excuse me. And this is cool artwork there. And then you're going down into the darkness. You're going into the lair. And you're going to find all kinds of things down there. Temple of the Dead. You're going to find your treasury. You're going to find the lair of the dragon eventually. And then you're going to have to hit that thing. You're going to have to hit that dragon with the staff, with the blue staff, and then make it die. And so, yeah. And then it gets into the appendices. Yeah, let's see here. Say hello here to the 5K. It's a cool touch to have the song in there. Looks like there are a few versions on YouTube to listen to. Yes, sir. There are. And like I said, I don't remember them. I know I've done it. But how cool is it to play, how cool is it to play the song? I think it just adds a ton of value. I think it goes with all of our senses, right? When I have a group of people at the table, I like to have all their senses, even taste, right? That's why we have snacks at the table, because we want to invoke taste into that. We want ears and eyes. We want smells. We want, it just creates the environment. And let's see, you want to be the 5K. You got to be Raceland. Okay. Is this the before you go into madness, Raceland, or is this the pre-Raceland before you take the wizard challenge in the tower? Because I don't know which Raceland I knew I want to hang around. There was trouble after that. Let's just say that there was trouble. So in the back here, it talks about the epilogue, and then it gives you rates of exchange in the back of the book. And so it tells you that in the Seeker lands, 1 steel emas equals 50 silver pieces or 10 copper pieces, so forth. In the Dragonlands, 1 gold piece worth of steel equals 10 gold pieces or 20 silver pieces. Then it gives you treasures and tomes. They give the crystal of, which is the blue crystal staff, the crystal of Mishakal. And then it gives you all the abilities and the strikes. Strikes is a staff of striking. It's got spells. 3rd level, it's got, let's see, following cleric spell, 2nd level. Command, cure light wounds, remove fear, continual light, cure blindness, cure disease, remove curse, cure critical wounds, raise dead, yes sir, restoration, and resurrection. Okay. Then it's got teleports. It's super powerful. It's super powerful. Deflects dragon breath weapon in a 10-foot radius. So 10 charges. Man. What a weapon. What a weapon. Okay. And then the staff holds up to 20 charges at a time. It regains 1 charge per day from the combined influence of Kryn's 3 moons. But it can be recharged immediately and completely at the statue of Mishakal. Upon completion of the quest for the Disc of Mishakal, the staff becomes part of the statue again. Okay. All right. And then finally you have the Discs of Mishakal. These are platinum discs, 18 inches in diameter. This is what you're looking for. This is part of your questing. And then anyone of lawful or neutral good alignment may examine the plates. Others take 46 points of electrical damage each time they try to touch it. Clerics should read this book, gain knowledge about the ancient gods of good, paladine, and rulership, Mejir, meditation and control, Kira Jolith, war and battle, Mishakal, healing, Habakkuk, seas and animals, and Branchala, elves, forest, and music. Any clerics who worship these gods may receive spells as per standard AD&D rules. The book tells how to worship them and gain true abilities. And then you got the Medallion of Faith. And then in the back here you have Appendix 3, which is Monsters and Men. You have the Draconians, the Agar, the Gully Dwarves, the Spectral Minions, and then you have random encounters, which, that's, lots of random encounters on your way to do the things you're going to do. And then you have the Canticle of the Dragon. I don't know, I may try this. I may try to do a voiceover of this. This would be very fun to do. But it's long. It's long. That's all I can tell you. It's a long one. I may need to do it in pieces and parts. Let's see. Oh, you will play, the K5K says, I'll play the pre-Madness version, but you know which I want to play. Yes. Understood. So yeah, but that is the actual Dragons of Despair. And I have, and I'm going to show you, hopefully here in just a second, that this is available. Let me show you. I'm going to drop a link here for you. This is available over on Drive-Thru RPG. And this is the first edition. So if you want to get first edition for yourself, just to have. Let's see if I can. There we go. And so if you want to support the channel, these links, these are affiliate links. So if you want to buy something and support the channel, you're welcome to do so. Not mandatory, but just to be on the level as to with the links. But the cool thing is, too, that there's also a 5e conversion. So if you're a 5e person, you say, "But I want to play it in 5e, Paul. I want to play this." And I am prone to want to play it in 5e. In fact, I probably will only play it in 5e when I do learn to plays, as I do at my local game store or online. But I am open to running this first edition for those who are interested. So if you are interested in playing in this game, let me know. Leave me a comment. And after you're done watching this, you can leave a comment down below if you're watching this later. But you let me know whether or not you'd be interested in playing in this game if I were to run it. All right. So there is the 5e version that they have there. Let me go ahead and show you. Let me bring up the 5e version here, how it's formatted and so forth. Let's see here. And this is the conversion guide. So let me go ahead and show you. So the 5e conversion guide is, it's very stripped down, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And this is from Ernie Noah's RPG blog right here. You can check that out. But I think this is very well done. I mean, it gives you the events, super stripped down. It's got the road travels east. Gives you some encounters here. It gives you all the stats here. It gives you, like I said, the events and so forth. Then you have, as you go through it, the New Haven Woods. It tells you all your stats there. And then it gives you all the different locations. Now, what I'm going to go to here, they include, let's look at my stats. They have there's the Lost City of Ancients. Let's see. Where are my characters? They're down here. Oh, no, that's not it. It's in the back. Here somewhere. I promise. The characters are here somewhere. It's all the way in the back. There we go. All right. So as far as Flint Fireforge goes, and we'll just do me because I'm here. So they have me in 5th edition. They have me at 16 strength, 10 dex, 19 constitution, 8 intelligence. Ah, how dare you, sir? How dare you? 8 intelligence. 12 wisdom and 13 charisma. Now, let me check the 1E version. Let's put that over that. And in the 1E version, let's see here. I think they're right. There we go. Much easier to find here, just because the way they're done. But here, it's, you know what? Here in the first edition, it is strength is 16. Intelligence is, dang, I'm even dumber in first edition. I'm 7 intelligence, 12 wisdom, 10 dex, 18 con, 13 charisma, and I'm neutral good, and my armor class is a whopping 6, and I have 42 hit points. So I think I like my 5th edition version better, I think. Let me go back to this. What else do they give me here? So I have 60 hit points. I have saving throws, strength +6, +7. I have 60 hit points, so I have a little bit more. I have an armor class of 14. Studded leather, shield, 2 hand axes. I have second wind. I have action surge. I have defense. I gain +1 while wearing armor. I am a battle master, which that makes sense. And then I have superiority dice, maneuvers. And then my actions, I have multi-attack. I can make 2 attacks. And I have hand axe +1. And then a dagger. I think I have a dagger. Yes, I have a dagger as well. And so, yeah, that's 5th level. They got me as a 5th level Hill Dwarf Fighter Battle Master. I don't mind that. I think that's okay. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so those are there. And let me just show you one other thing here, because they did a great job with the maps. And so let me show you. I'll bring it up here. Now look, I have this game already set up, just in case, Dragonlance, Dragons of Despair. So I'm going to pop in here just to show you a couple of maps of how they've done them. They've done a good job with them. And let me go ahead and launch the game here and show you. I'm going to not show you that. I'm going to show you just one of the maps here. So unlike the other map, now this is, like I said, these are just very clear. I have not loaded them all up yet. I added this, but sharp looking map. And all the other maps, I'll flash over to the other, they have these marked and unmarked. They have it, all different kinds of maps here. And I think this is a great, much like Keep on the Borderlands, this is a very simple map of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 locations that you can go between, and lots going on in all of these places. So I think this is a great, sandbox kind of a map here that you could play in anytime. Use it for whenever. And I'll show you and I'm not going to show you too long, because if you're going to play, don't peek, okay? But they've mapped them out very well, and it looks sharp. So there we go. All right, so that's it. I wanted to show you that. Let's see now. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I want to show you a couple other resources that I have from Dragonlance. Let me go ahead and get these over here, get them worked out here, so I get over here. Okay, and let's see here. We will go to all right. All right, here. Come on, we gotta get to my. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go over here, get down here to the other source here. If I can get my camera working. There we go. All right, so here are two resources that I have. Hey, Mac Thompson, thanks for joining in today. Just sharing a little bit about this. Is the 40th anniversary of Dragons of Despair. My channel is named Flint Fireforge, so I got to show some love. But thanks for stopping by. And I'm going to show off these two resources right here. So the first one I'm going to show up, we have the history and we have the leaves from the Inn of the Last Home. And both of these are available over on DriveThruRPG, I believe. And I'll drop a link here, hopefully, here in a minute. But I'm not going to do a full deal with this, so don't get nervous. I am going to do a quick kind of quick flip through. It's got creation of the world, timeline of Kryn, how the companions met. It's got a lot of it's just super awesome background. I mean, you could just sit here. This is, not to be insulting, but this is good bathroom reading material here. If you put it in there, you're going to pick this up and say, hey, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to read a few chapters. There's lots of good stuff from Tracy in there. Interior of the Inn. Super cool. Canticle of the Dragon. Then it goes into the creation of the world. And like I said, we're not going to do a whole thing, but I'm just telling you. This is probably one of my most treasured items. I've read, I don't want to say I've read the whole thing, but I mean the artwork, fantastic. How the companions met. Age of Might goes through all the different, dates. Let's see here. Bertram's essays on races of Kryn. I agree, Mac. And this is why I'm doing it too. Like I said, I didn't get to play in the actual Dragonlance modules because we did mostly homebrew stuff. But I am thinking about running it for new people, or for those people who are I'm trying to figure out how to run it for people who enjoy the channel here. If there's some sort of support thing I can get going, I got about 300 more hours I got to get before I can get monetized and all that stuff. But if I'm going to be running this channel, I want to be able to invite people in to do fun things like this. It should be fun, right? Having the channel should be fun. Supporting the channel should be fun. And then have an opportunity to play old school games like this and running games of our childhood and making it fun and interesting. And yes, I agree that Kenders are a hoot to play. If you you have to have, as a DM, you have to have the patience to allow a character to be a Kender, and I think I do. I just had a character, an elf, a halfling. In the last game that I ran was not a learn to play, but it was just we started Ghosts of Saltmarsh, and this character ran everywhere. It was like an ADD halfling, running everywhere, checking everything out, super curious. It kind of reminded me of a Kender in a little bit, with about 6 more cases of Red Bull that they drank. But that was a ton of fun. And so yes, Kenders are welcome in my game. I like me some Kenders if they can be if they can play it right and not be too crazy, just stealing everybody's stuff. It's just as bad as a thief trying to steal everybody's stuff and backstab and all that. Lawful stupid paladins. Okay, everybody's got their thing. Every class has their thing. Play it right. Let's not, it's not get too crazy. Mac, I'm prepared every time I run a game. I'm prepared for it to go off the rails. Okay, that is my default mode. I do not expect players to play right in the sense of they're not going to go point A to point B. If you remember the old cartoon Family Circus, and it would show when the mother would say to the son, "Hey, I need you to go clean up your clothes." Well, that child would go this way and this way and this way and this way, and it would show the child going through the house like it would take them like 20 minutes to do what their mother said. They'd eventually arrive and pick up their clothes off the floor, but they went all this way to do that. So my default, my default is you are going to stretch the boundaries, and I think that's me. I like being flexible that way because it allows player agency. I'm not so hung up on, I got to finish the adventure the way I say it needs to finish. It's going to be, hey, listen, here's the options. What do you want to do? I mean, they'll eventually, just like that little boy would, go all throughout the house, right? It's okay. Go through all of the house. We'll take as long as you want. As we got 3 hours, right? My game sessions are only 3 hours. I used to do 6 when I was younger. I don't do those anymore because they're insane. 6 hours is a long time. But yeah, feel free to go all over the place and come back when you're ready. It'll be here, right? It'll be here. The DL series, the K5K says, the DL series was what I consider the first railroady series that I played in. I did whatever I wanted. There you go. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Listen, I don't run hardly any pre-written stuff as is. It always has something that I add to it that wasn't there, or it went off the rails, or I changed something for the sake of the players that are playing because certain players have certain abilities or backstory. And that's just how I DM. That's just how I do it because you've created a character and I want it to be fun for you, and I'll change a few things maybe just to make it work for that, right? That's just how I do it. So back to the book here. Medallion of Faith. Oh, but look at that. Medallion of Faith. We just saw that in Dragons of Despair. Gives you the breakdown of the different items. Artifacts of Kryn. The manuscript of Dunstan van Eer. It is quite the tome. I don't even know what this is. What is this? I don't know what that is. It's been sitting in there for quite some time, though. Then you have Bertram's essay on runes. You have this really, really cool writing in here on herbalism. Here's old Flint Fireforge. Soul Urge. Flint wants peace to live in his own inner life. He is mellowed by time, loves old things and old ways. He prefers to be alone, but fears loneliness. He is conservative, kind, reserved. He is sought for his wisdom, but feels uncomfortable in society. You know what? Maybe that's why I chose Flint Fireforge. Maybe he is my player. He is my character. In reading that, there's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth there to me. So I may have to put that in my bio. My quiescent self. Flint is a good businessman. I'm not terrible. Expression. Flint is an excellent teacher and dealer in home necessities. He is the cosmic father figure. I don't know about that. Let's see. Life path, power, material freedom. I don't know. I feel like I'm reading in the Enneagram, the Enneagram somehow with all these different things here. Let's see. Birthday. Flint has strong determination and perseverance, but it's almost like an astrological thing. Your what is it called? Your horoscope. Flint has strong determination and perseverance, but he is apt to fluctuate. He is nervous and high-strung. High-strung, maybe. He must learn to temper his own rigid moral code and not try to impose it on others. He must overcome a tendency to be mercenary. That's true. That's true. I have to overcome my tendency to be mercenary. Karmi lessons. Flint must learn to meet issues squarely. He tends to be overcautious. He occasionally uses poor judgment in financial matters. If you only knew. Preferring to hang on to his money rather than invest it, he doubts his own abilities. Wow. Subconscious. Flint is concerned with the welfare of all. He is fond of his home and friends. All of this. Wow. I didn't look this up before, guys. I'm just saying this is discovery for me. So I'm like, you know what? Even more so, this channel needs to be why it's called Flint Fireforge. Super, super close. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, it's numerology. That's what it is, but still. Look at that artwork. Holy shnikes. Beautiful. Got your dragons. All right. Then you got war journals. Oh, look at this. Post-war Ancelin. Look at that. Nice. And then pre-war Ancelin. Quick reference guide. That's what I like about it. It's a quick reference guide. All right. Let's go on to the last book here. And that is the history. I'll do a quick flip through of that. Feel free to ask any questions. Like I said, don't ask me about Dragonlance because I wish I could answer a ton of questions about it. Once again, this is just a love fest for me and for Dragonlance, just to say, hey, happy 40th, Dragons of Despair. Happy 40th, Flint Fire Forge, even though you are, your demise was too soon. Your demise was too soon. But yeah, feel free, if you're new here, by the way, feel free to subscribe. And if you've not subscribed yet, and hit the thumbs up button. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like this video, and that tells me you want more of them. All right, so quick flip through here. That'll take us to the top of the hour probably. I won't go anymore. In this introduction by Margaret Weiss, you have the 5 hymns. You have the Adventurers Guild with these nice folks here. Lord Gunther's Progress Report, Legends and Lore, Artifacts, Weapons, and Spells. So lots of good stuff in here. A preliminary treatise on the runes of the ancient ogre. Yes. 5K5, the numbers have indeed aligned. And Mac, absolutely. It's been 40 years already, brother. 40 years. I've been playing for a little over 40 years. I started when I was 13, so if that gives you any indication of where I'm at on the timeline. Here's the different runes here. I always love a good rune. Look at these runes. I love them. Love a good rune. Landmarks of Ancelin. Translations of the Valenwood scrolls. And these are just cool stuff. Mac, you started in, let's see. Yep, been 40 years already. Mac, 1979. Look at you. Awesome. I don't know if I've quite figured out these yet. I'd have to do some more reading. They're herbals. I think they're herbals. Roots of Valenwood, fruit of Valenwood. Okay. So yeah, that's all that. Fruits, vegetables, and whatnot. Regional obscure feast days. I mean, what a tremendous resource of just sit there, read it all day. Adventures galore. I mean, just a tremendous tome. Between that and Leaves from the End of Last Home, and also the Dragons of Despair. All right, so let me go back to, go back to this here. Let's see if I can't clear it up just a little bit. But yeah, that was, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was fun for me. A little walk down memory lane, and it gives me an opportunity. Having the channel, allows me to do fun things like this, because sometimes I won't sit down and do it myself because I feel like, I have so much more work I have to do in other areas or do this or that. But if I know that there are folks like you who enjoy this kind of thing, then I am more than happy to bring out the OG stuff, and let's just take a walk down memory lane, because it's fun. It's fun for me. It's inspirational. We'll get to chat a little bit about it, and so I think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to drop one more link here, by the way, for those of you who are a couple more. If you're interested, one of the best places on the web, if you're not familiar with it, is called Dragonlance Nexus. They have a podcast. They have tons of resources, and I'll put that in there if you're interested in checking that out. They have a ton of great stuff over there. And then the other link I'll give you is my link that if you're ever looking to play a game, and you would like to have a professional dungeon master run your game, that means, now what does that mean, professional? Does that mean I'm expensive? No. That just means I take my stuff pretty daggum seriously. I do the homework, I do the prep work, I care about the players around the table, I am proactive in a lot of things. I just enjoy the process of it, and I have a lot of fun with it. So if you want somebody like that who says, "Hey, I would love to just sit in one of your games," whether it's whether you want to do this, right, or whether you want to do 5e, whatever it is you want to do, hit me up. I'll put a link right there. You can check out my page. I have a game, I think, coming up in June, first Tuesday of June. So if anybody's interested in that, I'm running a pre-adventure supposed to lead up to the new Vecna adventure, which I don't know if I'm going to do a review on that or not. I've read the first chapter of it. It's okay. The concept is there. It needs a little work. It needs a little work. But anyway, any final questions, thoughts about Dragonlance, or do you have, whether you have a favorite quote? And by the way, if those that are watching later on, feel free to leave your favorite character, your favorite quote from Dragonlance, your favorite book, whichever one you want. Leave some love for Dragonlance, okay, down in the comments, and for Kryn, and for all the characters. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being a part tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoyed my time with you guys, and you guys have a great week. Enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Do some gaming, and go read some Dragonlance. And I'll catch you guys next time. Yes, one last thing. Vecna. Now there's some terrifying nostalgia. Yes, sir. So he's going to show up in the game somewhere. Anyway, you guys have a great night, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys soon.